Yeah.
This model have some tolerance issues. Also, it's only able to dispense one pill. That's not ideal for Parkinson and for the information we have. Then we work on this one, and we have the exact different problem. We have it's too loose, so
Right.
it doesn't work. But in this version, we start working on the option to have different size pills and different shapes,
Uh-huh.
because pills is something that is not a standard in the world. Then we proceed working on this one. Here, we start working on the security of the design. We start reducing material on the bottom. The idea is to make it easy to 3D print, and also, if it's possible, to mass manufacture via injection. Is
Right.
the final idea, is the final goal. We also start working here on the lid. The lid was a big problem in the start because, as you may see in the first one, the lid doesn't have any way to stay in there. So if the
Right.
jar falls, pills are gonna get out. So
Right.
we start working with all the community in this design. We have this option. So here you put the lid. Here you put the lid here, and you turn it, and the lid doesn't come off. But we
Right.
have the problem that it's able to rotate 360 degrees, and we doesn't want that because we need it to be closed when it's in
Right.
closed position. Then we go to this design. Here we add something really important is that I speak with a pharmaceutic and told me that this kind of medications need to be in some specific conditions, low humidity and low light and low
Right.
temp. So here we add the option for having a silica gel to protect them. Also here it comes a lid made from TPU
Uh-huh.
to have a good seal, but we have an opening here that is letting humidity in the jar.
Right.
And also in the top, as you may see here, we add a stopper. So when you are in closed position, it's still closed. Then we proceed to work in the version that we are working right now, that is version 3, and we are now printing version 2.1 because of some light minor adjustments. So here we have the same silica part, but as you may see here, the jar is coming into the bottom because we have a little seal. I'm going to show you the parts individually. Here is the bottom part
Uh-huh.
of the model, and we have this little seal that comes here and gets into the bottom of the device. Then the bottle comes up here, and we have a closed seal when the bottle is not moving. That's important to preserve this medication. Also in the top, we have a new lid design. This is the new lid, and we have a seal also in the lid.
Uh-huh.
The idea is to keep it as sealed as possible. It's really easy to put together. When we send them, are gonna be completely assembled. You put here the new lid, the new seal for the lid, and you have here the model completely with the lid, and you proceed to put the cap on the bottle, and it's roughly the idea. Right now we are working with the option. First, in the first iteration, you have one pill, one rotation, one pill, and you have to turn the jar over to get that pill. Right now
Right.
we are working on an iteration that have the option of having one, two, three, or more pills. The idea right now is that you may see here we have two spaces for pills.
Uh-huh.
So you make a half a rotation and you have one pill. You make a full rotation, you have two pills. If you make one and a half, three, because we know that medication is not a standard, no?
Right.
It's on your condition. That's really the idea. This comes from an idea from Brian's. He made a TikTok video speaking about his idea and make a first design. We decided to contact him and say, okay, we can help to develop this project. For example, right now, like the person that is helping a lot with printing is Chief, another TikToker. He's helping us with prototyping and all that, and right now helping with design with other engineer that is hungry engineer on TikTok. I will send you all that social info for all of us. But right now, that's the idea. The idea is to make it low profit. The idea is to be
Right.
able to give them for free or for a little low cost to cover materials and all that. But the idea is
Right.
to keep it cheap. If you want, also after we have some, I suppose that you're going to have some questions. I could share my screen and show you the 3D model that is a little
Right.
more easy to understand.
So is this for let's say somebody takes 6 pills a day. You could have 6 bottles.
The idea, future wise, is to be able to have different pills in the same jar, making some changes in the bottom. The process is to first of all have a functional design and a functional prototype for one medication. Sometimes, as we were speaking with Parkinson, person that suffered from Parkinson and some foundations, they were telling us that most of the people have like the biggest issue with like the first pill, that is the one that is causing shakiness or
Right.
roughness in the muscles. It's like the most difficult moment because
Right.
after you take that pill, you are gonna be a little bit easier to take the other ones. But if you want to have one, two, three, or five, six other devices, it's gonna be easy because we are gonna try to make it as accessible as possible. And the important thing to have clear is that this is not a disposable device. This is a reusable device. You
Right.
can use it as many times as you want. You have the options to change the silica. You have the option to wash it, and that's the idea to be reusable. No?
Right.
So make it that. For example, I was gonna make you that same question. You told me that you suffer from Parkinson, so what's your experience? Is for you the first pill, or do you think you are gonna need a jar for each pill that you take on the day?
Um, well, the first pill is it's always the toughest because you've been in bed all night, so you need to get that medicine into your system. But my problem is for remembering whether I took that pill. Like there's some like I'm a pharmacist. I think she told you that, right? So
Yes.
in the store we had this thing where every time you open the bottle up, it clicked a dose. It clicked a 1, 2, 3, 4. So so you took a pill, and then all of a sudden you said, "Did I take that pill? I don't remember," because you take so many pills a day. Then you look at the cap, and there's a 1 on it, so you knew you took that pill. So probably putting something into your device that counts off every time you twist it open. There's a little counter
Okay. For example, do you take the same pill multiple times a day, or is a pill that you take once a day?
multiple times.
Multiple times a day.
I
Okay.
take 2 tablets every 4 hours. That's pretty standard. So 2 tablets
Uh,
4 times a day.
4 times a day. Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. That's really important because that's, for example, the feedback we are looking to have from the community and for the persons that are
Yeah.
suffering from
And
this, and know how to evolve the design. For example, I have a thing that having the option of a click or identifier that, okay, I have already took the pill, was really important for this situation.
yeah, most people have their spouse or caregiver lays out a weekly pill counter. You ever see those weekly? You
Yes.
pull the flaps up. It says Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday. They feel, but then if you drop them, you dropped all your pills. You know, if you taking the flap up and you drop it by mistake, all the pills are mixed up, and you don't know what you have. So your idea would be easier. You
Yes,
know,
because we have tested that. By accident, we started testing of the drops, and one of the people in the community print one and accidentally drop it two
right?
floors, two
Yep.
floors, and jar doesn't get open, and that's really important. We are working on that because the first thing I think when I saw the first cap from Brian's original designs was, okay, the idea is beautiful, but you need to start improving on some engineering faults because, for example, if you are gonna have the problem that it falls downstairs, for example, in your house, and you're gonna have all your pills everywhere, but that's not a solution. The
Right.
idea is to make your life easier, not more difficult, and that you have an extra device. If you can see the device is small, it's like a small Coca-Cola can. It's
Right.
really small. It's really small. So if you are going to need to have one, two, three, four devices, I think it's going to be easy. You will have the
Right.
space.
Yeah, the idea is good because people, the only if you take something every day, a second after you take it, you don't even remember if you took it or not. So it happens to me all the time. I actually had a whiteboard set up for a while, and I would put a little check mark every time I took my pill.
Yes, and as I was talking with you and with other persons, they told me, okay, this is not only going to be useful for Parkinson. There are a lot of other issues in the world that are going to need advice like this. And I was thinking, for example, my mother suffered from hypertension, and she sometimes have to look in the device and see, okay, I really took the pill or not,
Right.
because you don't need to have a extreme illness to have that problem. We sometimes get medications because we are sick, and we are like, okay, do we take the pill or do we not? Because it happens all the time. It's not only in these cases, and the idea right now is to start having feedback from people that have Parkinson, because the original idea is for Parkinson. If this can go to other situations, it will be amazing. But the first idea
Right.
is to prove the design in Parkinson. No? So, for example, I want to hear your ideas, your situation. What's important for you? For example, what do you like? Colors, for example, in your case, for example, if you have different colors leads, that will help you to know which medicine is which, or the option, for example, because this is 3D printed, that we can customize this lead, for example, to have the name of the pill and the schedule or something like that.
Right. That'd be nice. And the color would be nice because when you look in the cabinet, you have them all lined up. I take 7 pills a day.
Wow.
When you line them up, you can't see they all look the same. But if you had different colors, you'd know if you're running out of one medication. Because if without the colors, you may think that it's the one you take in the morning, but maybe it's the one you take in the afternoon you're looking at because they all look identical.
Yeah, I was thinking on that idea because, for example, via 3D printing, we have the option to have a lot of colors. Right now, for example, here in my business, I have for PLA about, I don't know, 20, 25 different colors,
Right.
different blues, yellows, greens, purples, whites. Even we can have different tones. I'm working to have one jar making the Parkinson colors that is like a kind of red for the information I have. And
Right.
the
The
idea is
the
to have
tulip. A tulip.
a tulip. I'm working on how to get a tulip PLA with my
Right.
provider here in Colombia to have that option, because I think that would be amazing to have, for example, for publicity wise, to have a jar in the color of Parkinson, so they can
Right.
even that this project is to help people with Parkinson. But uh, for example, we were working on something. You take, for example, of the same medication, how many pills?
I take 2 tablets 4 times a day.
2 tabs 4 times a day. So it's important to have the option to have multiple tabs.
Right.
Uh, and the shape of the tab change a lot, or is like the same tab
It's a round
for
tablet. It's just a standard tablet.
another tablet? Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's something that we are looking forward, because, for example, we start working in different countries, this project. And for example, today I speak with the Parkinson Foundation here in Colombia, and they were telling me, here we don't use tablets, here are caps. And I
Right.
was, okay, this is going to be a completely different problem. It's going to be different sizes, different shapes in all the countries. For example, I know that in the United States you have like a standard mode of cap, or more standardized cap and
Right.
jar and all that. In other countries is a complete mess, because you have all the pharmaceuticals selling their products, and it's
Right.
many different full sizes. But
Yeah, most of the world has a blister pack. They'll have like 30 capsules in a package, and you have to
Yeah,
pop them out. We in the
yeah,
United States we count them out.
yeah. That's something that I was told because uh, the person that was helping me from the pharmaceutical is from Canada and tell
Yeah.
me exactly the same. They count the pills, put it in a jar, and all that. And I was like, okay, here in my country is completely different.
Right.
We have a completely different system, but it's a complete mess. For example, I start taking, for example, to see some of the problems because this is my mom's medication.
Right.
The jar has the days, but we have to move the cap in each day. But if someone accidentally move the cap,
Right.
you're screwed because you lose track of your day. So
Exactly.
that's not like a perfect way. For example, at least for my part, I'm planning on working on this project long term and to try to make it a smart device to try to make this jar a smart device. For example, that when you take the pills, it'll send a notifications to your phone and say, okay, you have to take your morning pills, and 4 hours later, okay, you have to take your next pills, because most of the time this is gonna live in our houses, and we have Wi-Fi and we have access to many things, and
Right.
make that will be an option for the future. But right now is to have a prototype working, to have models working, and to start to give them to people that is in need. As I know right now, Brian is in conversation with the Michael J. Parkinson Foundation. Sorry if I
Yeah.
say the name incorrect, but he's working on that because the idea is to have money donations to be able to give this for free. The idea is
Right.
that each person that needs can go and grab them, because I having this situation is difficult. For example, in my case, I start working and having some feeling for person that have difficult situations, because 15 years ago my dad passed away from cancer,
Uh,
5 years of cancer, and I see all this struggle he have
yeah.
because sadly medicine and engineering hasn't worked really well through the years,
Right. Right.
and it's the patient that is suffering from this misconnection between I don't know, person that have to really work hand to hand, because they have the knowledge of how human body and all this work, and we have the knowledge on how to design or create a machine, and if we start working together, we can make a great change in people's lives.
Right. That's true. Because people, you need to take the medicine at the right time. Otherwise, it doesn't work as well for you.
Yeah, that's happened a lot, and for example, for people that is getting old is more difficult, because sadly, if you get older and older and older, you are gonna need more medicine. Is something that we right now know. For example, in my family, is that normal? I have family that have 80, 85 years old, and they take 9, 10 pills a day, and
Right.
it's a mess for them. For example, my grandpa was the complete wrong situation. He was like the anti-medical person. He opened his pills,
Right.
take like the 10, 12 pills he need for a day in his hand, a water glass, all
Yeah.
the pills together. He was like, I'm not gonna bother for the hours. And
Yeah. I've seen that.
the idea is to have that control. But I want to know, for example, in your experience with Parkinson, and I suppose you know a lot of people with Parkinson. Today, I have like the information from this foundation here in Colombia, that Parkinson is not only the shakiness of the muscles. It's people that suffers the complete reverse situation, that the muscles are completely tight and don't have good mobility in some parts of the body. I don't know if you
Right.
can help with like the
Yeah.
panorama of Parkinson.
Yeah, my legs go bad. So I freeze up. It's called freezing.
Okay.
And when I take the medicines taken, it usually clears up for a couple hours. But you know, but it's very hard. You don't really know when it's going to happen. Some days are better than others. But it's not really, the shakiness is only a small part. You have the dizziness and you know, the tremor, the unable to walk. Your mind doesn't work as well. You forget things. There's a lot of things they call non-shaky problems, that you get
Okay.
constipation is pretty common. So it's not, it's some people don't even shake. they're just off balance. They just fall.
Okay, and for example, for the normal people, for the person that doesn't suffer from this, we only think as Parkinson as a shakiness because
I
that's
know.
what television and misinformation has given us to all. This past year, I have the opportunity to start working a lot with doctors and all this community, and I found that we don't know anything about many things because we only hear what TV or
Right.
some misread newspaper article says about something, and when you start talking with the patients and for the people that's having to have a rough day because Parkinson or Alzheimer or something like that, you start knowing that this is not as easy as they are planting it, or the problem is not as little because you think, okay, that is a shakiness. You take a pill, you stop shaking, and your life is normal. But when you
Right.
start talking to people like you and other people that I have the opportunity to talk in this week, I was like, okay, this is not anything as we were thinking. This issue was is a
Right.
bigger problem.
Yeah, they actually only started thinking this way in the last 15 years. Up until then, they thought doctors only thought of it as shakiness.
Wow.
Then they started looking at your constipation, your trouble sleeping, the balance issues, things like that. That it's much worse than people think it is.
And as I suppose this is a degenerative illness, no? When with the pass of time is going to get worse
Yeah,
or
progressive.
it's
Yeah,
progressive.
yeah. Usually you get it at age 65, but I got mine at 48.
Wow.
I was younger, so I had it for 12 years, and so it's been a struggle. Like for me to go to the bathroom at night, could take me like 15 minutes to get to the bathroom.
Wow. So for hearing you, this pill bottle is like the tip of the iceberg. We
Right.
can continue working on more and more solutions to trying to make your life easier because I have a thinking that with creativity is nothing is impossible if you try to create it. We can work and we can help in our community and the feedback of people to make amazing things. I think that the limitations for this is that people doesn't want to do it or pharmaceuticals want to make it super expensive and that's not the idea. For example, for my idea is
Right.
to start to make lifesaver solutions for people. Not only this project, I have the opportunity to work in other projects, and the idea is to help. I really have the sad moment when my father died. He passed from being someone that make a lot of sports. He do everything, and when the last 6 months of his life
Right.
were him in a bed, not able to move, not able to eat, not able to do anything.
Right.
And that made me think, okay, we need to make something different. And that's why I finished studying engineering and all that. Like saying, okay, I have to find a
Yeah.
way to help.
You know what?
But
You know what a good device that would be good for you to invent. I talked to a doctor about this that was looking for stuff. It's when I'm walking down the street, like on a sidewalk, and I stop and I can't, like when I walk my dog and I stop, I can't get started again. I get frozen. If I can get my foot on the grass, that's about a half inch higher than the sidewalk, I could push myself off the grass and get moving again. So
wow,
if you would make a lift with a push button in your pocket, and all you'd have to do is lift the sole of the foot of the shoe a half an inch, and that'll give you enough balance to push yourself off.
wow.
Doesn't seem like that would be that hard to do. You just the bottom of your shoe, you just have to raise it up like a quarter inch or a half inch.
We can try to look to that problem and I call speak tonight or in Wednesday that we're going to have a meeting with all the community working on this project and tell them, okay, Warren have an idea. He's give us a lot of light of what is happening in his life. Thank you, Warren, for having me here.
Yeah.
The opportunity to hear you for me is really important because the most important thing when you're creating a project is to start having feedback and
Right.
information from people that is suffering this. because sometimes we start like, okay, this is gonna work, this is gonna work, but if I test it with my force and with my conditions, for me it's gonna be easy because I don't have right now any situation that is impeding me to pass to this. But maybe I can give the jar to you and you're gonna tell me, okay, this is too tight, this is too difficult.
Right.
I'm gonna go like, okay, this is gonna have to change. For example, we were planning, you were gonna tell me if I'm correct or wrong, to put like some rubber feet here in the bottom.
Mm-hmm.
So you have the options to put it in your desk or in whatever place and only rotate this part. That you don't have
Right.
to make the two rotations. This is gonna stay in place and you only have to rotate this. But for example, when you are in that rough moment in the morning, how difficult will it be for you to make this a twist?
Yeah, it's not that hard for me. I could do it right, but I take the ones I take once a day. I take them at 10 o'clock. I wake up at 6 o'clock for my first pill, but I wait for my 10 o'clock dose to take all the other pills because I'll be less shaky. That's how I do it.
Okay, so I'm having for you the same information I have from the foundation that the first pill is the crucial one. First pill is like the most difficult the most difficult pill of the day. It's like, okay,
Right.
this is gonna be the rough moment of the day, and that's really important. If you want, I want to share you my screen to show you the
Sure.
designable of the project, and also maybe a little bit more of detail because I know that via camera details doesn't go as
Right.
well. Can you give me the options to share my screen, please?
Okay. Okay.
Okay. Hello. Okay, here, tell me when you are seeing my screen.
Uh, oh yeah, I see it.
Okay, this is the last version. We are working right now on this. So as I was explaining you here, wait, here in the lid, we have this little seal to prevent medicines to get humidity. We have this seal in the top, then we have the body. But if you take the lid, you're gonna see the body has three positions. Here is
Right.
the open one, when you are gonna be able to take your pills. Close one, and we have a position here to remove the lid when you
Uh-huh.
need to refill the pill jar. Also, as I was telling you here in the bottom, we have the options for different shapes and different types of pills and sizes. Uh, and how does this work? The system is, I think, it's a really clever system because here you may see we have a feet in this part,
Right.
and when the jar is rotating and the pill is in the sun, this is gonna push the pill up and it's gonna prevent it to fall in the pill space. And if you make half a rotation, you get one pill,
Mm-hmm.
one rotation, two pills, one and a half, three pills, for example.
Right. Good.
And and for example, we were yesterday. This was at yesterday, so I don't have this jar right now. It's printing right now to prevent if you, for example, rotate the jar the incorrect way, that you don't break your pill because in the way it was designed in the first iteration, this part was vertical, and if you rotate the jar the incorrect way, the pill will get destroyed. Here, it's only gonna be taken out of the place, and you can and you don't have the risk of breaking your pills because I suppose Parkinson pills are expensive.
Right.
So here is like the jar. Here is the mechanism that lets it rotate on the base. So we continue here on the base. Here on the base, you can see here we have an space. Here we have a gasket. We have here a little O-ring gasket that goes in the bottom and the jar goes on top. When the jar is rotating, it leaps up from the gasket and gives you the options to rotate the jar. But as soon as you stop rotating the jar, it goes down and compress the O-ring to have a tight seal in
Right.
the top and in the bottom. And as I was telling you here, in the bottom part, here we have the options for have a for some Storica, desiccant, I don't know, each
Right.
country has a different name for that. And the clever idea is that you put the cap and with a coin, you rotate the cap and it stays there. If you need to change your desiccant, you use a coin, open it, throw
Right.
the desiccant that is not for use and close it. And with the idea, for example, I have to check on that. For example, each month you can disassemble this part, the lid and all that, and wash the jar to keep it clean. That's, for example, like the idea now. If I show you here, wait a second, I have to take this part and this part to show you the rotation. As you may see here we can rotate the cap to the closed position. And if you rotate it the other way, it's in the closed position. Here in the bottom of the jar, we have this little stopper to prevent the cap to over rotate. So you can move it close, open, and remove position. Either way you turn it around, you don't have the option to to make the rotation in a different way. But I want to know that you now are seeing the device. What's your opinion? What do you think we can improve to make it easier to use for you?
Do you have one that has a person doing it? You have a video with.
Um, I think, but let me check if I hear, for example, if I have it in my TikTok account, a video of me maybe showing how to use it, but I'm not sure
Or maybe
of
an
that.
animation. You have one that actually shows like just the animation that of a pill coming out.
No, I'm working on that right now because the idea is to make like a animation of the final design
Right.
because making animations takes a real long time. So
Right.
I'm working on making it of the final design, but I can show you maybe the movement here of the base. If you can see here the base,
Uh-huh.
you have here the pill, and the moment the pill comes in contact here, it goes up, 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 and the pill stays in here, in this part where the mouse is. The pill stays here, and you can continue rotating, rotating, rotating. Here
Right.
you take your second pill, and for example, you are gonna take those two pills. You only move the cap to the open position. You turn the jar down, and you have your pills. And
Hmm.
that's, for example, like the way it works. But let me see if this video that I'm trying to look right now has we have the video of the jar working because I think I take a video of it working. But let me see because I'm not completely sure if in this video you can see the rotation of the device because
And it doesn't rub against the other pills that does it rub against them or is it
no, the idea of the system is that all the pills are stored here. You have all your pills in this part
uh-huh.
floating around, and the moment you like shake a little bit the jar, pills come here and here. You have your two pills that you're gonna take here,
Right.
and you rotate the device. That's why we have like a protection here. And when
Right.
you rotate pills move, I have tried mine with about 20 to 30 pills because I was not able to find so many pills to disposal because are pills that are working on a prototype and are gonna get
Right.
too manipulated. But the idea is that we start with this model. This was the first model we start working with. Then we come to this model. I decide to restart the design, to only take the Brian's idea and restart designing the model. Then we go to this version that is the last one we have on TikTok and all social media. And this is the one that is going to be shown today with the new
Right.
seals and all that because we have a lot of feedback from the community. Community is watching the videos and telling us, okay, why don't you make this, and this?
Right.
But for me, the most important feedback is, for example, coming for someone like you that suffers from this every day and is gonna tell us, okay, we have some different difficulties than you were thinking because we are only thinking of like maybe I don't know. We can maybe be designing all this wrong or good, but we need to get more feedback. I will maybe talk to one of the printers in the United States to be able to via one of them. They send you one of our jars so you can test it and maybe you can help us with feedback.
Yeah, you know what works good is Skittles. Do you ever see them?
Yes,
Skittles.
yes, yes,
That doesn't get your hands all dirty. With like M&Ms get all chocolatey,
yes.
but Skittles is pretty good.
There's well, for example, a skittle is like the size of the pill you take,
No, it's a little bigger,
a little bigger.
but it looks like a pill. We would do that when they trained the nurses where I worked. The nurses would we bubble pack the Skittles, and they practice opening up the bubble packs. So because M&Ms get too messy.
Yes, I have made the idea of trying with an M&M and was a bad idea. I have chocolate all over
Right,
the jar
right. Yeah, Skittles you won't have it.
because I made like the test and leave the jar in the desk.
Uh-huh.
And when I come the other day, all the chocolate
Yep.
was melted. I was like,
Yeah, I
oh,
know. Yeah, we had that
and
once.
we lost that one. As I was telling you, we passed from many prototypes and many materials. That's important. We are testing also the materials because we are planning to work on materials that have FDA approval, so we don't have to go to a whole process of
Yeah.
approval. We have, for example, in the base, we have different materials. This base is made of TPU. This is flexible. For example, this one was a complete failure. Having a flexible
Right.
base doesn't work. It's too squishy, so mechanism doesn't work.
Right.
Then we are working with PETG and PLA. PETG is a material derived from the one that we have our water bottles.
Mm.
Is family of these materials. And PLA is a natural material. These materials is made from sometimes made from corn, sometimes it's made from other things, but it's a material that is compostable. So when the jar
Right.
is useful, you can take it to a compostable plant, and they will destroy this, but with the less impact for the earth. That's something that is
Right.
really important. This other material is polycarbonate, but this material is extremely expensive for the project.
Right.
This material is like $50 a kilogram or something like that. And the other problem is that these materials tends to suffer from a lot of retraction, so it gets tighter. This part and this part are the same, but this one is a bit smaller because this
Right.
material, when it gets cold, it gets a little bit smaller. So that will be a hassle if you don't have like a really expensive 3D printer to
Right.
control ambient temperature and all that. And the idea is if you have a printer in your home, you are going to be able to take our free design in the moment we make it open source again and print it in your home if
Right.
you have a 3D printer. But the idea is to keep control because sadly in this world we have people that are bad intention and they are gonna try to sell this like for $60 or
Right.
something crazy like that. And the idea is not that. The idea is maybe to have a product between I don't know $8 to $15 for
Right.
sale and have the options via foundations and all that to be able to donate a lot of these products. Uh, I know that they're trying to work with shipping companies if maybe they want to get on board on the project. I'm trying to make the same here in my country to speak with shipping companies and tell them, okay, this is gonna be a no profit project. Do you want to get in this project? Uh, this work this work works the same way in any country. If you offer a company the option to have their sticker on something, they are gonna get in.
Right.
This work like this, but for example, if here the shipping company I'm talking with is on board, I don't have any problem if the box is completely covered in their name. They are gonna give the ship for free, so
Right.
that's less cost and the idea is to be able to put it in every place in the world to every person that need it and it is to help. For me, this is with the heart of helping because maybe someday I could be the person needing help, and I will really love to find people in the community that are gonna say, okay, we are gonna help you. And
Yeah.
and
It's
I
good.
know that for example, people suffer from Parkinson, Alzheimer, and some of the illness doesn't have a lot of community support. Community passes over because for community only is important like cancer, uh, and that's it. Cancer is like the only thing that got attention in the world, and many people suffer from other things, and it's more
Right.
people suffering from Parkinson, Alzheimer, or that maybe people suffering from cancer, and we have to pay attention to people that are living and struggle day to day.
Right. It's nice of you to do that. It's very rewarding, right?
Yeah, it's for me it's something that motivates me each day to continue working to trying to get my entrepreneur because I have a small entrepreneur of mechanical design and 3D printing here in Colombia, and that's motivates me to each day saying, okay, I'm gonna make it, I'm gonna continue working, I want to have a big company one day that is able to make this project for free with its own money because we are making money from other projects and we are able to say, okay, this is our project and we are gonna make it for free. That's like an idea for my future, and I'm really working with that. That's why I start working with community in other countries because I know that if I get also my entrepreneur to get known everywhere and get the resources to be able to say, okay, I'm going to develop this project, I'm going to help people. That's going to fill me more than a lot of money.
Yeah.
That's
It's nice.
really important.
That's why I do the podcast, just to help people out. Figure do some good.
Yeah, I think that we need more good people in the world. We need
Right.
people that thinks more about more about helping that only money. Money is amazing. It can buy you many things, but you are gonna know that money doesn't mean anything when you are in hospital bed
Right. I know.
dying for something,
Yeah.
and you're gonna see, okay, I have a lot of money but I cannot solve this
Yeah.
and I haven't do anything to fill my life, and you're gonna be completely sad. You need that good memories, that good things. For example, if sometimes your life get rough and rough, and you see all black, you have something in your heart that is gonna tell you you can make it. You have done good things, and good things are coming to you. So you
Right.
have motivations to continue working.
Yeah. It's nice. I got the same attitude. You know, Figured, because my life after age 70, it's not going to be that good. So I'm taking advantage of this 10, 15 years
Yeah,
to,
that's your role. That's the
yeah,
way to make it.
instead of worrying about when I'm older, just shift everything a little younger because I retired because I couldn't work anymore. So I got some free time.
Yes, and as we may see the past year with COVID, if we don't learn anything of this, we are
Right.
completely done as
Uh-huh.
people because this has told us money, many things doesn't matter. These things take you, and it doesn't care if you have money, you don't have money, if you're rich, you're an important person. This doesn't care a lot. This doesn't care. This take you, it's gonna kill you, and that's all. You don't have the decision of who
Right.
live and who don't. And we are far from having war immunity and many things because, for example, here in Latin America, it's going to be a struggle to have the vaccine. It's going to take a lot of time.
Right.
We have a lot of different struggles, different that in the US here, our politicians are a complete disaster. So I don't see a vaccine here. So we have to take care of ourselves. And maybe, for example, for my generation, I'm only 27 years old, and you see this generation of about 20, 21 years, like, COVID doesn't matter. Okay, because COVID doesn't kill a lot of young people. But you have to
Right.
remember you have your father, your mother, your grandpas. And
Right.
what the virus don't kill you, but you kill your mother because you doesn't care. You're not gonna be able to live with that.
No.
So we have to start taking care of all and working as a community because we need to prevent and to start helping people. For me, it's really glad to be able to be part of this project, to start helping. I hope I'm gonna speak with all the group to see who is near you or can ship the jar via DHL or something or FedEx
Yeah.
to your house. So you have one, you can give me the feedback, you can check it, test it,
Yeah.
we can have someone that have a lot of contact with community, because if you have a podcast, I suppose you know a lot of people that have these same Parkinson, these same issues, and we could maybe get them jars, working with the foundation
Right.
and all these things. Uh, I can start talking to make this real. We have to try to help. It's the only thing I want to say. We need to help people. We need to
Yeah.
help each other. If we don't care about each other, this world doesn't have a long time here if we don't start caring about each other.
Right. How long have you been working on it for?
What, in this jar?
Yeah.
Yeah, I have been working about 6 days,
Oh, is
non-stop.
that all?
Yes, but it's for me it's been a non-stop. I have been working
Wow.
24 hours these past 6 days.
Yeah, because you did a lot of testing.
Yes, I'm really glad for because in my thinking and of my professors and university and all that, I have like a gift, a done for design. For me, designing a computer is like a passion. For me, this is not a work. For me, this is
Right.
passion. This is life. This is a motivation for me each day, and I have the ability to design and develop things really fast, and I want to use that ability to help. If you only have an ability to make money, you are not making anything. I think that money and all the things come attached when you help. Because when you start helping people, you start getting a good name, you start to many things that money and publicity will not buy.
Right.
Doing good things will make it for you. They are
Yeah.
gonna make people know, okay, this person is doing things good. Let's give the word to him because he is trying to help. He's also making no profit, making all that, but not for publicity. I don't like that idea
Right.
of some rich people or famous people that goes to a no profit to take the photos giving food. That's horrible. If you are gonna do that, why do you need to take a photo of you giving food to people? If you are gonna do it because you want and you love to do that, you don't need to take a photo. You don't need to take
Right.
press. You don't need to make all this. You make it because it's a passion, because it's something that fills you every day. That you say, okay, today I help someone to have a shelter, to have food. But if you are gonna make it for taking a photo, you're making publicity for your company or for you,
Right.
because you are not a good people. You are not good persons. You are only. I prefer not to say the word because this is a podcast a lot of people is gonna see, but you know what I was gonna tell. You have to do that
Yeah.
because it's for you.
It's ulterior motives.
Yes, you have to do it because you love it. If you do it
Right.
because okay, this is gonna get me publicity and
Right.
all that, you are going the wrong way.
You leave that for the politicians.
Yes. Okay. That's a whole different story. That they only appear, at least in my country, they only appear once times every 4 years for the elections, and the
Right.
next 4 years you don't see them doing anything.
Yeah.
Here in my country is amazing. They have 3 months of vacations, paid vacations,
Wow.
3 months each year. It's like, okay, come on. We work in a company and we only get like 20 days a year,
Right.
maybe, and they get 3 months. That's completely unfair.
Wow. You know that. Huh. You're doing good.
Uh,
You're doing something good for people.
Thank you, Warren. That fills me a lot. That's motivating me to get out of my bed every day. The last year was too rough for me. My company, my entrepreneur was 5 months old when COVID started. So my entrepreneur passed for a year of struggle last
Right.
year because I was I'm a new company. My company is only a year and a half, a year and 8 months old. So we are new for all the businesses,
Right.
and not having the opportunity to go to work was difficult. But I say, okay, this is my dream. I'm gonna keep fighting. I'm gonna find a way. And strangely, this year I say I'm going for the work. I'm going to do whatever I want, whatever I need. But this is gonna be my dream, and I'm gonna make it real. And suddenly, this project for Parkinson appears, and I say, okay, I think God is putting me on the mood to help in this project, and I guess and I think this is gonna also help me and help my entrepreneur grow because I'm growing as a person, and if I grow as a
Yeah.
person, my company is going to grow.
That's great. Would you want to want to be at our meeting next week? Or you?
Yes, amazing. I will be part of that.
Because I have to see. I want to see how good a turnout we'll get. Sometimes I only get 3 people. Other times I
Okay.
get maybe 10. You okay with that?
Yes, no problem. If you send me the link, I will be there. I have no problem. The idea is to help.
Is this time a good time for you? Like 2
Yes,
o'clock?
it's a good time for me. For I have that bless. I think when you are an independent people, independent in your work, you have those little abilities sometimes people don't see. I can go to a podcast at 2 p.m., but then I have to work like to 12 p.m. that day. That's
Right.
my decision. I want to make that,
All right.
but I have the option to say it's my time. I'm gonna make it whatever it
Yeah.
needs to be done. If you want me in your program next week, tell me what day, what hour, and I'll be with there with you, and it will
Yeah.
be glad.
Maybe what I'll do is I'll show this video to them this Thursday and see what they want to do, and if they want to meet you, I'll call you up
Okay,
next week.
okay, amazing, amazing. That will be great.
That's good. It's really nice talking to you.
Thank you, Warren. I'm gonna try to find a way. Maybe Chief, that is a really big TikToker, about 200,000 subscribers. To maybe he can send one of our test products to you this week. I will love if you have one. Via email, please send me like your address and all that
Yeah.
information, and I'm gonna keep that on track to make one of them go to you, because really you are giving us that also the opportunity to get our project known in the community, and that's something
Yeah.
that is great for us.
Yeah. We'll do that for you.
Okay, thank you, Warren.
You have a good afternoon.
Good afternoon. Thank you. It was really nice to meet you.
Same here. See
Hope
you
you have a
later.
great day. See you later.
Okay. Bye.
Bye.